Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to a new episode of Master's Mind. Today we take a look at a Zerg vs Protoss that I recently played, and of course, as always, in this game we will watch the game completely through my vision of Q, and we will talk about the things that I was thinking about while playing this game. This game was actually also played live on my live stream, so if you haven't checked that out, please do so in the underbar. It will be a link to my stream description. But besides that, this game was a pretty good example on how solid build orders can just give you easy peasy wins. So in this game I will be executing a Stephano kind of style of Zerg vs Protoss. This is probably my favorite way to play Zerg vs Protoss at the moment, because it's just so solid all around and there's really no weaknesses in it, as long as you just do the build order properly. There's a lot of easy slip-ups that you can make in the build order. For example, simply forgetting your gases, or simply getting them too late, or forgetting a Roach Warren, or maybe dying to Dark Templar. But if you actually execute the build order completely like Stephano does it, you will actually have a really nice way to win a lot of games in Zerg vs Protoss simply by doing a solid build order. So as you can see, he's doing a standard 9 pylon scout, if I'm not mistaken. The scout arrived relatively early at my base, so I'm assuming I can just safely go for my normal standard build. Nothing too crazy going on right there. I'm just gonna go for my 14 spawning pool. As you can see, it's already going down, and he just left my base again, so I'm a little bit worried about that. I don't really know where he's at right now, but I will find out shortly. So here we go, around the 200 mineral mark. I'm going to send a drone down to actually make an expansion if I'm able to, but he might be blocking, and there we go, he actually find the probe on my natural, so I'm just going to arrest that a little bit, and as soon as I hit 400 minerals, there we go, I'm going to start a overlord, as well as being able to get my hatchery down a little tiny bit later, so a little bit of delaying by him right there, but nothing too major. I'm going to just check what he is up to. Turns out his forge is only halfway done right now, so I can basically just continue my normal stuff. Going to start a queen, going to start zerglings, also going to start a drone, and I'm going to rally the drone straight to my third base, following the zerglings that I'm making currently. That way I will be able to pretty much create the third base as soon as I arrive there. So right now, just checking with my overlord a little bit, see what he is up to, and it turns out he is having a standard build order. Going to use my second overlord, as you can see, halfway flying across the map. Going to hang that besides his mineral line, or behind his mineral line rather, to check the gases. And here we go, I'm going to check with my zerglings what is going on. Going to inject once with my queen right here, there we go. And I'm going to start the third base as soon as I have 300 minerals. Luckily for me, I found the probe. This is one of the most important things, because you don't want to lose that probe, because even at this stage in the game they can still rush your third base, and it can be really annoying, so you always want to find that third probe, especially with proxy pylons and whatnot going on later in the game. So I'm going to re-rally now my main to my natural, because I am fully saturated in my main. Not going to bother with the more drones right there, not going to be worth it. They're going to be much more useful if I actually rally them all to my natural. So there we go, my second queen is out, already injected with my first queen in my natural, so there we go, everything is looking pretty solid right now. I still have my overlord on his main base. I kind of forgot about that if I'm not mistaken, but I did notice he took double gas this game. And I'm also going to just hop up a little bit with my zerglings, checking out what is going on for him. Going to adjust my overload just a little tiny bit to make sure that he is going to take those gases or not, so I can see that completely. But it turns out he is not chrono boosting anything, no forge chrono boosting, no cybernetics core chrono boosting, and no gateway chrono boosting, so that will mean that all his chrono boost will be spent on his pro production, and that way I know that he will most likely go for economic kind of focused game, because he's not going to bother with getting those upgrades out as soon as he can. So there we hit the 6-minute mark, or a little bit before that. I'm going to start my double gases. My third queen is out right now as well, going to use that to inject, and right after I'm noticing that my overlord is still in his main base, so I'm going to try and get that out. I might lose it, a little bit of a mistake right there, but not the biggest of deals at this point in the game. So right now he's doing a little bit of harassment with his with his Zealot, but I'm not going to be too worried about that because I checked and it turns out he wasn't chrono boosting it. But just to be sure, I'm going to create a few extra Zerglings to be completely safe when a Stalker all of a sudden shows up. And since I'm not at the highest level of play just yet, since I'm not at the highest level of play, I know I can afford to make a few Zerglings, too many if necessary. So there we go. Going to start my Roach Warren right now, also going to start my lair shortly after, as soon as I have the minerals. And actually, oh no, wait, let me rephrase that. I actually do notice that with the Overlord that's hanging behind his natural, I know that the 3rd and 4th gases aren't being taken just yet. And what this will do is that it will actually be either, like, it can be one of two things. Right now it can be a 7 or 8 gate, well I see the gases being taken right now, but normally it can be a 7 or 8 gate because he was saving up a lot of minerals. Or it can be a really quick 3rd base, because at this point he will have a lot of minerals to be spent because he didn't take those gases. He had drones mining longer on minerals and more drones on minerals instead of mining gas. So it can either be gateways or an expansion kind of build. So most likely he threw down his expansion right now because he took the gases most likely right after getting his Expo up. However, I can't be completely sure about that. I will have to scout with my Overlord, but I'm going to continue fairly standardly. The biggest change that I did right here is actually getting the Zergling speed just before getting the lair speed with my first 100 gas. Because, well, I just felt a little bit scared for a 7 or 8 gate, but right now I see the Nexus already being finished, so I know it's greedy play. Going to start the 4 gas guys right away, as well as a Nexus or a hatchery at my 3rd base to be sure that I can make as many units as I can. And since I'm doing the Stephano kind of style, I know my my roach speed will be finished relatively soon. So here we go. I am fully saturated now. I'm going to start the Overlord production as well as starting the roach speed. I'm also going to have +1 range attack for my roaches on the way already, but I'm just going to create more and more Overlords because I want to bump out as many roaches as I can. And since I have excess minerals at the moment, I'm going to first waste my minerals on Overlords. At this point I don't really need to worry about my army. I only need to make sure that I can pump out a really big army as soon as I can, because I won't need the units at this point, but I will need them in a minute, so I can safely throw down as many Overlords as I like. And at this point I actually have enough Overlords for up to 60 more supply, which is quite a lot. And at this point, as you can see, 17 roaches on the production tab. As long as I keep my injects up, as long as I keep my stuff up, I know that I will be able to at least apply a little bit of pressure right now. The other thing that I could have done right here is actually get all the gases up and get in 4th and 5th base up, as well as a other evolution chamber, as well as an infestation pit. But right now, I'm going to go for an attack. So here we go, more and more roaches and Zerglings on the production tab. My +1 is about to be finished, same to my roach speed. I'm going to just pressure a little bit, maybe bait out a few force fields right now, but I will really need to wait for my +1 to finish, as well as the roach speed to finish, before I can really start pressuring. So here we go, the roach speed is finished, as well as the +1 attack. Going to keep the injects up, and I'm just going to bother attacking his forge a little bit. I know if I will be able to get this upgrade down, it will be a lot easier to actually kill this. And there we go, he actually managed to throw up some force field, but he missed micros here pretty badly. Going to be able to actually target fire a lot of stuff right here. Going to also keep some roaches at his main ramp, because I will need to kill as much stuff as I can right there. And right now my main priority is killing those Immortals, and the Immortals are going to be the one hard thing to really kill, because if I will be able to kill the Immortals, I know I will be able to clean this up. But as you can see, the force field will be the one thing that will stop me from killing Immortals. But there we go, I managed to kill all these sentries right now, and I'm just going to keep target firing as much as I can. Not going to overcommit too much though, because I just want to be able to reinforce with my big army. And as long as I keep the energy low on the sentries, well, what sentries at this point, but as long as I keep that energy low, I will be able to clean up the Immortals eventually. So here we go, I actually did manage to kill up all the Immortals, as well as all the sentries right now. And I know there will be only Zealots and Stalkers left. I see another Immortal pop right there, but I'm going to snipe that off instantly, because this guy has a pretty bad micro. And I know it doesn't look like he's a high master level player, but he will most likely have been like top 8 master on the European server, so he shouldn't be a bad player. But looks like it's going to be a cleanup for me. So as you might have noticed, just do a solid build order. If you copy the build order completely like I did, it should be a relatively easy time until like high master level play, because a lot of people right now are getting better with their force field and army control and whatnot. But up until this point, I can pretty much just crush pretty much most Protosses doing a solid build order without too much of a hassle. So I want to thank y'all for watching. EGG's out. I won this game pretty easily, and I want to thank y'all for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile, and I see you again. Bye!